Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to react to some unpopular opinions. So I asked on Twitter for some unpopular opinions relating to Ariana Grande, and I don't know, I thought I'd start a series maybe on my channel where I'm reacting to some unpopular opinions. So leave below some unpopular opinions. Obviously they don't have to have anything to do with Ariana, but if you have any related to Ariana, then leave them below. At this point, I'm basically the queen of reaction videos, so also kind of the queen of unpopular opinions, especially when it comes to Ariana Grande. So let's just get on with it. So the first unpopular opinions I'm going to react to are specifically to do with positions. A lot of the unpopular opinions I got were that Positions, the album, isn't really that good, and I couldn't disagree more, because I will admit I've kind of overplayed that album. However, that album is my favourite thing ever. Like, that's my favourite Ariana album. Probably talk about it more later in the video. It's my favourite album. However, I have kind of overplayed it, which makes me really sad. Like, there is nothing more heartbreaking than when you like a song or an album so much that you've overplayed it, and I've kind of done that with Positions, which kind of breaks my heart. Motive is overrated. I kind of agree with this and I kind of disagree with this. That made absolutely no sense. However, I personally do agree with that because I've never, I mean, like I say, Positions has no skips. And there isn't a bad song on Positions. However, Motive, it's never been my favourite on Positions, and I feel like the only reason why it's so hyped about in the fandom is because, not only because it's a good song, it is a good song, I'm just saying it's a little bit overrated. However, I feel like the only reason why it's so hyped in the fandom is because Doja Cat is on it. And I'm not saying I have anything against Doja Cat, however, her music isn't really what I listen to. My all-time favourite album by her, it's such a vibe, and probably her sound than ever before. Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's my favourite album too. And yeah, I feel like Ariana's really found a sound. She's went through different eras and different like styles, went through different sounds, and she's went through different like phases. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think that Positions is really Ariana. Off the Table and Safety Net aren't even that good. I don't know where all this hate comes from for Safety Net and Off the Table. Like, they're both some of the best collabs, and Safety Net is my favourite song on Positions, probably. Might have overplayed it. But Off the Table is definitely in my top 4 of Positions. Again, I haven't really listened to the album in a long time. Yeah, it's been a couple months since I've properly listened to that album from start to finish. And I also haven't really listened to Ariana for quite some time, so maybe I'm going to say something, then I'll listen to Ariana after I've filmed this video, and then I'll disagree with something that I've said in the video, or my opinions might change. However, what I'm trying to say is, Off the Table and Safety Net are good songs, so I disagree with that one. I don't like the end of Love Language. I think a lot of people say this, and I can understand why you might say that, because it doesn't really fit with the rest of the song, like they don't really go. However, it's my favourite part of Love Language. Nasty is overrated. I feel like Nasty is one of those songs which you either think is overrated or underrated. There isn't really an in-between. However, I disagree and agree with this. I think I've overplayed Nasty, but I don't think it's overrated. I think it's underrated because the whole fandom were begging for it when we were given that snippet. Everyone was like, release Nasty. As soon as we got it, I heard no one hype about it, so I don't know where all the hype went. Nasty though, I think I've overplayed it. So I can see where you're coming from by saying it's overrated, but Shut Up isn't boring. Shut Up isn't boring, like, correct. Don't know why people are even saying that Shut Up is boring, because it's not. However, it's definitely not my favourite song on Positions, and I wouldn't choose to listen to it. I have nothing against the song, it's a great song. However, it's not my favourite. Why does no one talk about POV anymore? I don't know how I feel about that, because when Positions first came out, yeah, POV was my favourite song. I lived for that song. I lived and breathed for that song for a little while. However, gotta be honest, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it just didn't age well or what it is. Maybe locals ruined it because it's kind of became a local song now. TikTok ruined it. I don't know what it is. It's not as good as it first came out and it makes me sad. Maybe I've overplayed it, but it makes me sad that it's not as good as it was when it first came out. It might be one of my least favourite songs on Positions now. I don't know. I feel like 3435 is a little bit overrated. I think someone else said that too. And I understand where you're coming from. Like I say, when Positions first came out, it was my favourite song. Lived and breathed for that song. 3435, I love the song, however, I don't know, it's the same with POV, I think. It didn't age well, or maybe I've overplayed it, or... I mean, I still love the song, however, it's just not as good as it was when it first came out. And I don't know if this is really an unpopular opinion, I don't really think it is. I don't think the remix was needed. Like, I don't like the remix at all. I don't know whether it's just because I'm not really into Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat's music, but I don't know, I feel like they kind of spoiled the song. Should I even say that? Positions has no skips. Exactly. Now I'm going to react to some Ariana unpopular opinions, but more general ones, just about her whole discography. This isn't an unpopular opinion, however, someone says the main pop girl right now is Ariana, which is so true. I feel like the top three, like, main pop girls in the music industry are Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish. I don't know, what do you think? You Don't Know Me is her worst song. To be honest, I haven't actually heard that song in a long time, so my opinions about Ariana's songs change all the time. But in my opinion, You Don't Know Me is one of her most underrated songs. Yours Truly is one of her best albums. Yes, Louder for the People at the Back, completely agree, always have. Be My Bestie, couldn't be more true. My top three Ariana albums are Positions, then Yours Truly, and then Sweetener. And in my opinion, those three albums don't have any skips. Positions cover doesn't look any better than Lana's. I don't actually know what you mean by Lana's cover. However, can we just talk about the Positions cover? Because firstly, there was literally no need for the amount of hate that front cover got. It's just a front cover. It's just an album cover. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion though, none of Ariana's album covers really stand out. However, the Positions cover, was it really that bad though? Like, was it really that bad? I feel like this fandom can be so ungrateful sometimes. Like, they just hate on anything that they can. Sweetener is Ariana's best work. I understand what you mean. I wouldn't say it's her best, but I wouldn't say it's her worst. Again, it's one of her best. It's my top three, like I say. Thank You Next is her worst work. Now, this is interesting, and I understand where you're coming from. However, if I had to rate Ariana's albums, so obviously we've got Positions, Yours Truly, Sweetener, and then I would say Dangerous Woman. Dangerous Woman, for me, it's probably one of those albums which you either love or hate. For me, it's in the middle, so I mean, I'm just completely going off what I just said. However, I can understand why you might think that Dangerous Woman is Ariana's best album, but I can also understand why you might say that Dangerous Woman is Ariana's worst album. Like, it has some of her best songs on, like Touch It is my favourite Ariana song. Moonlight is also in my top three. However, I love how this unpopular opinion was about Thank You Next, not about Dangerous Woman, and I'm talking about Dangerous Woman. But this is kind of an unpopular opinion, so I might as well put it in this video, and this is from me though. But yeah, I don't even know what I was saying now. Positions, Yours Truly, Sweetener, Dangerous Woman, and then Thank You Next and My Everything. That's my ranking of Ariana's albums. However, like I said, I can understand why you might say that Thank You Next is her worst work. However, I'm not saying I don't like any of her albums. Like, I like them all. And I listen to Thank You Next more than I listen to Dangerous Woman, actually. Thank You Next isn't a mole Ariana's best work. I don't really know why people say that it is. Like, for me, I don't know whether I'm just hearing things differently when I'm listening to this album. However, I don't think that the songs are very cohesive. I don't even know why I said that word, because I never say that word. I feel like I say that word so weirdly. Like, I don't think the songs go with each other. It isn't a standout song. Imagine is so underrated. Like, that is an unpopular opinion. Blazed and Borderline are some of my most played on Sweetener. Yes, there was a lot of love for Blazed and Borderline when I asked for some unpopular opinions, and I'm living for it. I don't know where this hate for Blazed and Borderline came from, and I don't know why it's still a thing, because they're good songs. Like I say, Sweetener has no skips, although it did take me quite a while for Sweetener to grow on me. When I first heard Sweetener, like when it was first released, I wasn't really madly in love with Ariana's music. I liked her, but I didn't really listen to her music, so I listened to kind of like the first 30 seconds of her songs, and then if it wasn't good enough, then it wasn't good enough. Rule the World is one of her best collabs, exactly, and I don't know why people don't talk about it enough, because I don't know, it deserves so much more. Seven Rings didn't deserve to be the song that was her longest #1 on Billboard. I don't really know what to say about that. I think it's quite interesting that you say that, actually. However, Seven Rings is iconic, and it's kind of my brand. I'd say Touch It's my brand. Sometimes I just listen to it and I'm like, I forget how good this is. However, you've got to admit it is a really good song. Maybe one of the best singles, definitely. This one's really interesting, and I'm kind of confused as to how someone could say this, but anyways, each to their own, I guess. No Tears Left to Cry is annoying. I don't know what to say about that, really. Just let's move on. Someone agrees with me by saying Position, Sweetener and Yours Truly are the Holy Trinity. Thank you. Okay, this one is the last one. With her vocal range, she could be making better songs than she is, but I don't know, I'm not really musical. Well, I'm not really musical either, but I'd never even thought about this until I read this. However, I can see where you're coming from, and I can kind of agree with it. Like, I'm not saying that I don't love Ariana's music, because obviously I do. I love Ariana's music. With the vocal range she has, she really could be making better music, like even better music, do you know what I mean? That is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to leave some unpopular opinions down below if you have any. They don't have to have anything to do with Ariana. They can literally be about anything, and if I get enough, I'll react to some in a different video. Make sure you subscribe, because I'll love you forever. And I will see you soon. Bye!